The year is 1884, and in Berlin, the fate of Africa is sealed. European nations, without consulting a single African leader, draw borders that will last for centuries. Rivers are split, ethnic groups are divided, and rival communities are forced into single territories. The conference lasts months, but when it ends, Africa is no longer a land of kingdoms and tribes. It is now a collection of European territories. Borders once drawn on paper are now marked in reality. The Yoruba, split between British Nigeria and French Dahomey, Benin, must now carry papers to visit relatives. The Somali people are divided across British Somaliland, Italian Somaliland, and French Djibouti. The Maasai find themselves cut off between Kenya and Tanzania. What was once one people is now several nationalities, forced apart by invisible lines. Colonial rulers favor some ethnic groups over others. The British in Nigeria empower the House of Fulani in the north, while sidelining the Igbo and Yoruba in the south. The Belgians in Rwanda elevate the Tutsi minority over the Hutu majority, planting seeds of division. The French in West Africa force rival groups into the same administrative regions, setting the stage for future civil wars. By the 1960s, African nations win independence, but colonial borders remain unchanged. At the 1963 Organization of African Unity OAU conference, leaders agreed not to alter the colonial borders, fearing that redrawing them would lead to endless wars. But this decision leaves nations with deep ethnic and regional divisions, inherited from colonial rule. In Nigeria, colonial favoritism and forced unity explode into civil war. The Igbo people, feeling marginalized, declare the independent state of Biafra. The Nigerian government, backed by Britain, wages a brutal war to keep the country together. The world watches in horror as famine sweeps Biafra, killing millions. The war ends in 1970, but the wounds remain deep, unhealed, and unforgettable. For decades, Belgian colonial rule created deep divisions between Hutu and Tutsi. By 1994, the tensions explode into one of the worst genocides in human history. In just 100 days, nearly 800,000 people are slaughtered. The world watches, but no one intervenes. The colonial strategy of divide and rule has led to unimaginable horror. Somalia's borders were drawn by Britain and Italy, splitting its people into multiple nations. After independence, Somalia never stabilizes, leading to decades of civil war, piracy, and terrorism. The country remains